Warning, this podcast was recorded before the Nintendo Mario Direct and may contain wrong-ass information. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another edition of the Critical Beard Podcast. I am one of your hosts, the Cardinal, and this is my buddy and co-host, the Meatball.
The Meatball.
Get wrecked. Today we got a big old tiny show for you. We're going to talk about all kinds of juicy tomatoes and lovely salsa.
Are you part of the Lost Boys? 'Cause what was that?
How'd you know?
I don't know, but not the cool Kiefer Sutherland Lost Boys.
No, I know
but,
you're talking about the
Rufio.
Hey, Rufio.
Rufio sucks, dude. Rufio sucked, and he knew it. And that's why he eventually. Cool. No.
Dude,
he knew he wasn't cool because he laid down in front of the pan. He's like, "You're much cooler than me, paunchy Robin Williams."
I can't talk to you. I can't even talk to you anymore.
I don't know who you are anymore.
Yeah, but let's talk about the chubby kid. He was cute.
Which one? Oh, the one that like rolled up into a ball.
Yeah, that was
like a literal
one of his
ball.
attacks.
Like,
was he just like rolled down a hill? Rolled down a plank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. That's still a good movie.
It's awesome. It's
one
of my favorite Spielberg.
I actually argue it's probably in my top 5 Spielberg movies. Like,
it's a movie that I actually enjoy. Julia Roberts in,
which is really rare for me.
Yeah, I'm not a big Julia Roberts fan, but I'm like, you surprisingly make a good Tinkerbell.
I almost said Tinkleberry. Like I was like, Tinkleberry.
You make a pretty good Tinkleberry.
Yeah, but let's just talk. Dustin Hoffman's the best person in that entire fucking movie.
Obviously.
Dude, like there could never be another Hook again because he's like, you just can't do it. You can't beat it.
He killed it.
He's the Heath Ledger of Hooks, except he's alive. So anyways, well, we got a jam-packed show for you here. We usually start our shows off with a little segment I like to call "What You Playing." Meatball, what the heck is you playing this week?
I'm still playing Final Fantasy 3. Woo!
Final Fantasy.
I did have some technical difficulties with my Final Fantasy 2 review, so I'm kind of seeing what I could salvage out of that. But Final Fantasy 3 right now, it's fine. It's okay. I think that's its biggest problem. Unlike Final Fantasy 1 and 2, which like tried some interesting new things, Final Fantasy 3, it seems like it's just kind of a
complacent,
a safe synthesis of Final Fantasy 1 and 2. It's okay so far. I don't hate it, but I'm not really, because say what you will about Final Fantasy 2,
you said the game is 30 hours.
That's what I looked up on how long to beat.
Yeah, I love that web. It's so like.
It's such
a genius idea to make a website solely around how long a game is.
Yeah,
and you collect data from like all around. People are like, coming at you from all angles.
Yeah, and I even looked up for like the original Famicom version. It's a 30-hour game, which is pretty incredible. But it's a big game. Like there's 3 separate world maps, pretty big world maps. It's like 16 different jobs, like NPCs with actual dialogue and characterization. It's an impressive game for like an NES era, but yeah, so far it's okay. I'm just kind of ready. I'm ready to get to Final Fantasy 4.
I can't wait till you play the Super Nintendo ones. You're gonna be so surprised.
I know,
because you've never played any of these, right? These
are all new to me.
When you get to SNES and PlayStation, you're just gonna be like, dude, Cardinal.
Because I've only played Fantasy. I've only played Final Fantasy 13. 13-2 and Lightning Returns.
The best trilogy of gaming history.
Actually, I will always defend Final Fantasy 13. I don't know about the other ones, but yeah, Final Fantasy 3 is okay. It's okay. What are you playing?
I am playing. I'm still on Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda.
How's that going?
It is very good. That game, I'm playing a little bit of Minish Cap because I've realized that I really have a weird tendency to have never finished the handheld Zelda games. Like
Those are the ones that I finished the most of.
The like Link's Awakening is probably the only like straightforward handheld Zelda game I actually beat when I was a kid. Like I played a lot of them. I played Oracle games, and I played Minish Cap and stuff like that. Minish Cap's the only one I like did not have my Game Boy Advance. I had sold it when it came out, and then like Game Boy Advance came out. It was kind of a mass system, and then I sold it, and then all the best shit came out for it, and I like didn't have one, and it's the worst thing.
Yeah, I didn't have a Game Boy Advance when it was like out. I pretty much left the Game Boy Color. I kind of left in the middle of Game Boy Color. I didn't pick up their handhelds until the DS.
What's the best handheld system? Nintendo handheld system?
3DS.
Okay, let me rephrase this. Core system, not one just because it can play other games, but like.
No, but that's not why I like. That's not why I like 3DS.
You would say the 3DS has a better game library, like by itself, than the DS.
I don't know. I just have a lot of good memories connected to the 3DS. So it's like, I don't know. I played a lot of just strictly in like hours spent. I spent so much time on my 3DS, so much.
But how much of that was playing stuff you downloaded from the eShop or stuff you play DS games like the Chrono Trigger DS and DS Castlevanias? Just saying. Although the DS did have the stupidest Zeldas, so
no,
the 3DS had
what, a couple of remakes.
The 3DS is arguably like the best Zelda machine you can buy.
I love the 3DS. Yeah, I love 3DS.
Mm-hmm. It's great. No, you're not gonna. I'm playing Link Between Worlds right now, and that game's phenomenal. And I like can't believe I never played. I played it through like the first dungeon, I think, a while back, and then I never really revisited it because other stuff was coming out, and I shiny, and I go, ooh,
shiny.
What's that? And Link's over here like, hi, or Nandi,
whatever.
Dude, yeah, that game's great. The rental system's really cool. The non-linear like the construction of the game, like. I haven't gotten too far because I'm maining another game. You'll find out in a second. But maining another game. This is so stupid. What an idiot. Yeah. Who says that? Idiots. Nerdy idiot jerks.
Maining? What do you think this is? You think this is a game?
This is a side game. Well, it's like I feel like my handheld, like a handheld game, is always like my side game because like I need to have a TV game. But
see, I love handheld games so much more than TV games because I don't like.
Wait till you have a child, and
I'll love them even more.
Oh my god, dude! You're gonna be like, why do we even own a fucking PlayStation? Like, I can't ever play it. Like,
I just don't like sitting far away from the game, and plus I don't want to sit too close to a TV. So it's like with the handheld, it's perfect.
Dude, I love hand. I really want to get like my hands on like one of those really cool. Like basically Raspberry Pis, those handheld Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, people could do impressive stuff with that nowadays.
Yeah, and you can get some really cool ones, but like I never know what's what because they have the worst names because they're all like each A5 9 23 24 18, and they're like, we're reviewing the 2914 today, but is it better than the 75S for V5 4000? And you're like,
hold on, let me get my cipher book.
Like, yeah, it's like why are you just naming them numbers and dashes? Like, call it the freaking.
That's you know why? Because nerds make them.
Yeah, and then like they know what it means, but I don't.
Yeah, they're like, well, it's based off the processor, which is an NX9. This is the third iteration using the different firmware, so. Dude, just make a cool name, okay?
Cool. Just do it. It's the only thing that's worse than Nintendo's handheld naming conventions,
or just their naming conventions in general.
Oh god.
Legend.
And then of course, like when you work in a video game store, i.e., you and me, when someone's like, "Do you guys have any DSs?" Oh, okay. Well, let's just start with what the fuck do you mean?
Here's a list of 9 different DSs.
Most of the time, they don't even. At the end of the day, you realize they never even wanted a DS. They wanted a 3DS,
Yep.
or they wanted a Switch or something. And you're like,
I hate them.
stupid idiots. So yeah, there's that, and then I'm maining a game called Mortal Shell. I'm gonna have review impressions up later this week on that game, hopefully, and it is quite so it's Dark Souls, but
I'm excited.
I know you love those games.
I know,
But
they're so good.
it's like a 12 to 15 hour long Dark Souls game where you don't level up and you don't have any stats. And so you start the game and you're just like you're a zombie. You're like a fucking zombie. You have nothing. You die in one hit. And then you inhabit a dead soldier and you go inside of his body, like you possess him. And there's 4 of these soldiers in the game, and you just find the other ones laying around. It's like Iron Man armor, right? You're just kind of like possessing a piece of armor. And each one but those are your classes. They're the shells, the mortal shells. And yeah, you have like the tanky guy and the fast guy and the magic guy. But the coolest part of the game is the fact that you have no shield. Combat is all like you're just melee. But if you press L2, your character hardens into solid rock. It's really cool. It's really satisfying. The controller like rumbles every time you do it, but like you can do it in midair. Like, so you can be like doing like a jumping slash and you like freeze into solid
Kirby.
rock. Yeah, exactly. Exactly like
just
Kirby.
Smush 'em.
But there's only
Basically.
one class that can actually freeze in midair and then fall and do damage. The other ones just stay in midair for some reason.
Yeah, it sounds like you're just playing Kirby, dude.
It is.
Like,
It's basically Kirby.
Hey.
But no, what they do is they drop into this world and they say there's 3 temples. It's kind of got a freeform Zelda feel, and there's no order. It's just like there's the fire temple, the ice temple, and the dark temple. Here's your center, and go and do it and beat them in any order. And you bring all you find an orb after you beat a boss at a temple, and you do solve like little puzzles and stuff. So there is like some Zelda-ness to it, but you bring them back. And then you do the thing, and then you bring them all, and then you fight a final boss, and then that's pretty much the game. It's like a 12-hour thing, but like I realized that like those Dark Souls games, I usually put like 120 hours in, and I never even beat them because all I do is grind. I grind the hell out of it, but this game gives
souls, bro.
There's not really like the incentive to grind. You can upgrade your shells, but like
I thought you liked grinding though, bro.
I do, but when it's 120 hours and I'm not even close to the end of a game, I'm like, I think I might just suck at this game. But no, it's really cool.
Is it a AA game? Like, was it retail like 40 or something?
It is $29.99.
Nice.
And here's the crazy part: it actually looks better than any Dark Souls game.
That's not that hard. Honestly,
I know. The games don't
really look very good.
And the last thing I'll say about it is it also has a familiarity system. So like every item in the game is unknown until you eat it.
And another game did something like that.
I mean, it's like a kind of a Elder Scrolls thing, isn't it?
Yeah, with the in Oblivion to figure out what alchemy, what certain
you would actually like raise
stuff
the
you have to
level
eat
it. Stuff.
Yeah,
it has that, and even like at the beginning, you get a loot. And you can pull out your loot and play it, and like you'll be sitting there playing it, and your character's like, bring. But like the more you play the loot, the better you get at it, and you can actually master it. And it doesn't do anything.
Like Final Fantasy V.
Never heard of it.
Oh well, it's. I guess
I thought you've never played any Super
I guess
Nintendo.
You've never played Final Fantasy V.
Oh wow, way to go! But anyways. I'll have way more impressions up later this week on Mortal Shell. I'm absolutely fucking loving it, and I'm also finding it a lot more accessible for those of you who are like, the Dark Souls looks really cool, but like I don't feel like I need to I want to get into all the stats and like a million different there's only 4 weapons in the game too. There's 4 shells, 4 weapons, and then like from there you kind of like it's like freeing weirdly enough because it's like restricted enough. Anyways,
well, yeah,
really
that's cool. That's where creativity comes from, is from restrictions.
Yeah,
how to overcome certain things.
Like in combat, it frees you up to like it makes me it gives me the incentive to just like kind of run off and just do stuff instead of in Dark Souls I was always like, ugh! And then I'd like get to the end and beat the boss barely and then like barely creep into the next area and be like, ugh! Whereas this one I'm just like, fuck it, I got nothing to lose, and I'll just be like running through and yeah, it's really fun. I like it. It's still hard, don't get me wrong, but anyways, so that concludes our segment called What You Playing. Next, I don't think. Is there any news? I don't think there's any news.
Not really. Honestly, did you even watch the rest of Gamescom? Because I didn't.
Dude, I mean, I kind of like it just like burned me out or something. I didn't even really finish.
It's because there's just too much. Like I looked.
Yeah.
I like swept through day 2, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many trailers. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
Like, and usually I love watching trailers. I love watching new games, but I got to the point where I was just like, man, this is just too much. Like, this isn't like, I'm not enjoying this. Because, like, most of the time I'm like, somebody give us something, please. And then finally someone's like, here's 1,000 games in, like, 3 days. And I'm like,
stop.
I didn't want all that. Like, the first day was enough for me to be good for, like, a while. And
right.
But the one person we didn't really hear from anything, we didn't get any Nintendo stuff, which I guess they weren't part of Gamescom this year. Or whatever.
I don't think they really
are. They ever part of Gamescom?
Not really.
Maybe they'd have like a booth or something, but
maybe.
Speaking of Nintendo,
how about that? How about that Nintendo?
So obviously we had some rumors that we were going to get some Direct, and then we did. And it was like, well, this has sort of been happening the past like 3 fucking months, where it's like there's going to be a Direct, and then we get one, and it's like, what is that? And then we get another one, and it's like, what is that? And the most enjoyable one of all of them was an indie showcase, because
they've all been indie showcases.
Well, no, I mean, Shin Megami Tensei is not an indie game. Crystal Chronicles is not an indie game.
They're not. They might as well be.
Yeah.
Because people watch Nintendo Directs. I mean, what they really want is that sweet Nintendo marrow within the bone.
What we've been accustomed to getting, and which I mean, a lot of people expect too much. And we're in a year where there's mass pandemic and blah blah blah. But I get it. It's hard to develop video games right now and everything. But I mean, so we're not getting anything right now. As from what we know, we're getting Pikmin 3, and that's all Nintendo is getting.
Which is cool. I you know what? Yeah, it's definitely.
Don't give me fucking Animal Crossing and Pikmin 3 and then say bye.
I'm trying to remember if they put out any kind of like, hey, COVID's really hitting us really hard.
Yeah,
kind of announcement.
They did actually. So Nintendo did say COVID was impacting them more because Nintendo was set up with more analog devices than other companies. So people could work remotely very well. Working from home was a lot harder for them to set up for. Now that's definitely their fault. They had plenty of money.
Yeah, but that's Nintendo, and they're old school to a
yeah.
fault.
And it's not like super surprising or anything, but it's also like
it's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. I just man, I want to know like I know for a fact, like I know it, that we're not just getting Pikmin 3 and that's it. Like I know there's something else they're gonna release, whether or not
they have to.
I mean, to me that'd be crazy because if they can port over Pikmin 3, then why not just port over some other stuff? Like, I mean, come on, man. I'm not a game developer. I'm not saying it's easy to just drag and drop.
It's easier than something from scratch, right?
Well, I mean, even if you have to do it digitally, man. Like, if you can't get like a cart out or whatever, and you just have to drop like a digital Mario collection or digital like whatever, dude. Like, even if you're just giving us like Earthbound on the SNES, like app or whatever you're doing, just give us something to work with. Like, and nobody. I mean, Pikmin 3. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed Pikmin 1. I never actually played the sequel.
Me either.
And I never played 3 because Wii U's are garbage. No, I'm just kidding. I actually really like Wii U, but
shut your face.
Shut it. No, I think the Wii U is underrated. I actually like the Wii U much better than the Wii. I would rather own one of those.
Well, lucky with every Wii U, it comes with a free Wii, so you know.
Exactly, and it also comes with 2 Zelda games HD remastered. You can't play anywhere else. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I just at this point I'm like, I don't know what's going on over there. Like, because the rumor was like the Mario thing was supposed to be announced back in like E3, and then that didn't end up happening, and then they just like keep pushing it back. But like I believe, if I'm wrong, but the third
rumor can't be pushed back, man. I don't. No. The rumor
Never
can't be pushed back.
Can't push back.
Yeah, but you can't say like it got pushed back. Nothing got pushed back.
Well, no,
just a rumor.
The rumor is that the game was going to be announced at
the rumor
E3.
of the rumor. Holy vey, you're down a rabbit hole, bro.
The game was going to be announced at E3, and that they were going to release it before the 35th anniversary. And in Japan, most people don't like quite grasp it, but in Japan they do anniversaries real big: 5, 15, 25, and 35. In Japan, the 5s are huge, much bigger than the 10s. That's like a Japanese thing. I'm not like big on that. And if that's true, next year is going to be fun because that's going to be 35 of Castlevania, Metroid, and Zelda. So give me all the collections.
Dang. Give them to me. This round I wants all the collections.
Technically, next year, February, will be the 35th of Zelda. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. It can't be, it just can't be that hard with that giant of a company to give us some ports.
They have to give us something this year. Just Animal Crossing?
Yeah, the game was awesome in March. like
really? Just
like, that's it. If you count, if you're wanting to throw okay, we got Paper Mario, which, you know, whatever, but that's outsourced.
Yeah, that's not a first party game.
And so, like, first party, we have gotten a game. Last year we got Mario Maker, we got Luigi's Mansion, we got Fire Emblem, which is also Intelligent Systems, so that's technically outsourced. But that was a way bigger game than Paper Mario. And I know there wasn't a pandemic, but we got so much shit last year comparatively. Like last year was a pretty big year for the Switch, and then this year was just like, huh? Not to mention like Astral Chain and. But
it still isn't hurting their sales.
Because I mean, even if it's not necessarily first party, I mean, just like the third party Nintendo published stuff, like I said, Astral Chain and Marvel Ultimate Alliance, like those games were huge successes. They made a lot of money. They were like, I don't know, it just what something. Give me something, please. I want to play Nintendo games. Port over 3DS games, for the love of God.
I would love that,
dude. Just take the, you know what I mean, like put like Link Between Worlds would sell crazy on Switch.
They just need to like imagine if they were just like virtual consoles back, full support, everything. Like everything. Like even we're gonna bring back even just like, here's all the Genesis and the TurboGrafx and all the random stuff. Like I miss that from the Wii, man. Like I love seeing just random. It's like, what? I want Bonk 2 for the TurboGrafx 16 on my Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I want my GameCube and 64 and stuff on there. Like,
yeah, like I want to just like let me buy the Spanish version of Pokemon Crystal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like just let me get weird with it. Like,
yeah, that's another easy thing they could do.
The easiest possible thing they could do right now is just release Earthbound New Beginnings and Earthbound together.
It's already ready.
We can buy it. You could sell it for fucking full price and it would sell. You could sell it for $60.
$60, people will buy it.
Because
begrudgingly, but they will.
They wouldn't do that. It'd probably be more like a $30 thing, but like still, man, I mean, they know, and that's why Earthbound's obviously not on the thing yet, because they know.
You'd think.
I don't think they're going to bring Earthbound to the SNES Online. It's going to be a package deal with like the Earthbound Beginnings. It has to be.
And, well, if they're going to do that, they better put the third one on there.
I could totally see them not, though. Like
I could, but I mean,
I would like
like,
die.
what the heck?
I would die if they did, but I could totally see them not because that would require translation effort. This other one requires no effort.
Well, that's why they need to take a page from Sega's book and let the fans do the work.
Well, and so very clearly, the Wii U architecture is very similar to the Switch because that is the most things they have brought over are from the Wii U. Well, we have a few things that people really, really, really want, and that's Xenoblade Chronicles X, the Zelda, HD games, and Mario 3D World. Where are they?
Gimme.
Where are they? We have, again, Pikmin 3. Like, I'm gonna probably buy it. I'm gonna play it.
But no one's clamoring for Pikmin 3.
No one was like, please, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. But we got it. We got Tokyo Mirage Sessions this year. Sorry, yes, we did get another Wii U port of a third-party Nintendo published game. But still, come on, man. That's all that is. You know what that game is? That game is, don't you wish you had Persona? That's what that game is. It's don't you wish Persona. This is going to make you even more mad that Persona 5's on it. Just give us, like, I don't even know. Joker's in Smash. Why don't we have Persona on it? Come on. Anyways.
Joker for Smash. They need to put out a new Smash Bros.
So in the Nintendo ramblings, what do you think? Like, do you really think that there's nothing left, or do you think that they're just sort of playing their cards very close to the vest, and they think that they're actually going to be like just doing like really, really short announcement windows? Because I thought about that, and it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Nintendo's such a wild card.
They've already announced indie games that are coming out in 2021. They've announced third-party, partner showcase games that are coming out in 2021. So I'm over here like,
I think that they might have one big one this year, but I think COVID really took their in-house development to like a grinding halt.
Here's another theory. And it's baseless and stupid, but here's another theory I had. What if they said, hold on.
Switch 2. Boom.
Yes. Oh, my theory is right. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye, Steve. Okay, so
Steve.
Yeah, he couldn't make it to the studio today, but he just offered me some tremendous news. My theory that I was about to say apparently is right, and I am right. So get ready for this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo has not announced anything and has kept everything so close because they have diverted all resources to one thing, and the one thing that they need to be the holiday gutbuster for people to purchase a Switch. We had Animal Crossing at the very beginning, and they had nothing all the way through the end of the year. Now, there's only two reasons that could be. It'd be A, they really did get hit as hard as whatever, but like even then, that doesn't make us. Even then, we have like indie games coming out. I'm playing fucking Mortal Shell, a game made by like a few people, and like that game came out. Like I don't know, like there's some games I'm just like, how did this come out? But like you guys, you have to have some sort of team. So my theory is, what if they diverted all this energy into getting a certain game out by a certain time in November or December to combat the holiday sales of the new console?
Well, yeah. That's pretty much what I just said. Like, they're probably going to put one big game out this year, and that's it.
Or what game do you think it is?
Probably Breath of the Wild 2.
That's what I'm saying. That's what for this shirt.
Yeah, that's probably what they'll do. If I was a betting man, I don't know if I would put my money down on it, but if they were to do one last hurrah, if they were like, well, we're bleeding resources, we have to put we had to make some money this year. We had to put our resources in some developing something. The best, smartest thing to do would be invest in Zelda. That's
Like
always
all-
going. It's
just put- yeah,
always
all
going.
that.
They're always going to get
The
money
game was
with
a
a mainline
system
Zelda.
seller. And what more? And the thing is people already still want Switches. They're just now coming back into stock.
Yeah, they've never not been in vogue. Like people have always wanted Switches.
And there's already those theories that the Switch will outsell PS5 and the Xbox Series X.
Honestly, I would not be surprised because usually that first window of an opening system they're usually not that great.
Well,
at least
PS5's already said that they're going to be super limited.
Yeah.
Not that anyone. They're like, we're going to be really limited. I'm like, you mean like the whole rest of this fucking year? Like, I don't know what. Like, we haven't been able to find PlayStations and Switches anytime this year. Like, don't act like this is new. But I mean, I get what they're saying.
Yeah, they have to make an official announcement.
I think after really, really thinking about it, like for a while. And I'm sure I'm wrong, probably. I'm always wrong. But if I'm not, I've been saying since the beginning of this year that Breath of the Wild 2 is closer than we think. They're using the same engine. They've been working on it clearly since the first game's success.
I mean, we had a pretty decent teaser trailer last E3. Was it last E3?
Mm-hmm.
So we've had a good year. If it came out in November, it's a good year and a half since that. And
it's all clearly running on the same engine. It's all using the same like technology. We already know that
it's like most of the same
put out
same character assets and everything.
Nintendo put out Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I mean, they were back to back. It was like it wasn't even a full 2 years. It was like a year and a half, I think, between those games. And then also, if you look at what was the other case? I mean, you have like some of the handheld cases being like they released 2 fucking games at the same time, and then they've had what was I just thinking about? Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 came out a year apart as well.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty normal back then. I mean, Final Fantasy 2 came out a year after.
Yeah, and development's so different because we're talking about a fully open world video game versus whatever. But and Majora's Mask is effectively, again, on how long to beat. Majora's Mask for a regular playthrough is like 16 hours long, I believe. It's like a relatively short game.
Yeah.
But then again, most Zeldas aren't that long.
No, most of them are like 20 plus. They're usually not too long.
Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, and Breath of the Wild are the only really 4 Zeldas that are very long. But
I would really enjoy a Breath of the Wild 2. Make it shorter, make it more narrative focused. I would be very happy with that. Like, I don't need a big breadth. You know what I mean? Like, just give me a nice little.
Yeah, if we had like a just a big old like Hyrule Field kind of spot that we could kind of explore around, but like it was a lot more like just segmented and felt more like a standard Zelda title. Because again, everyone's calling it Breath of the Wild 2. That's not what it's called. We know that's not what it's going to be called. Like,
but that's what they released the teaser, right? Didn't they say that on the teaser? Are you sure? Because I remember it saying Breath of the Wild.
A sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Oh yes, yeah, that is true. If they did call it.
And technically, Majora's Mask is a sequel, and technically, Link's Awakening is a sequel. Like, I mean, technically, the Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass games are sequels of each other. Mm-hmm. I mean, technically, aren't those sequels of Wind Waker?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
they're sequels of Wind Waker.
So that really doesn't mean anything. A sequel to Breath of the Wild. That just means we're using the same engine as Breath of the Wild. That's all that means. Like,
we're carrying over themes and assets and probably combat.
Might have better lighting and slightly better because the original Breath of the Wild was meant to work with the Wii U, whereas this doesn't have to have those caveats, which is crazy to think that game is still probably on the top 5 prettiest games on the Switch, and it was made to like run on 2 different systems. I mean, it's like what the hell. I still personally think Mario Odyssey is the prettiest game. Mario Odyssey is the prettiest game on Switch, in my opinion, and it's always right. So yeah, I don't know, man. I want to know. I want to know, and I want to know it. Tell me it. What are they doing?
I can't tell you.
Oh, God. Damn it.
Can't
Just
tell
when
you.
I thought I got you.
I know. Okay, fine. Don't tell anyone I told you this, okay? Star Tropics 3.
Whoa. I
You
never
know,
knew
dude.
they made a second one.
They did.
I played the first one not that long ago, actually. Is that on the... That's on
That's
the NES app, right?
I believe so. I believe it is. I think both of them are.
You have the yo-yo, right?
Yeah. I remember renting that game often as a kid. I loved that game. And that was a Nintendo first party game as well.
Was it really?
Yeah, that was a Nintendo game. Yeah.
They should. I would totally. I mean, could you imagine what a modern Star Tropics game would
That'd be so.
like?
That'd be so crazy. Star Tropics 3. People would be like, "What the hell is this?"
And then they see that it looks like, I guess, like a modern day Star Tropics would probably look like
Zelda.
a Zelda game, but but it's like Earthbound, like with like an Earthbound Zelda, like almost like
pretty much what it would be, because Star Tropics was basically Zelda.
Yeah, it was Zelda, but you had like modern, a little bit more modern stuff in there, like yo-yos and the town, the village.
Yeah,
the villages were like slightly more modern than like old school.
Took place like on an island with like a tourism kind of.
It almost like was like kind of like it was supposed to be like Hawaii or something. It was like I don't.
It was just not nondescript tropical island.
Back then, it was just This game takes place in 1990 XX. You know.
Yeah. 19XX. What? Can't you just give me? I never understood that. Just give me a random number. What do you got to do the XX thing? What is
That's
that?
why I thought that Mega Man spiritual like successor ripoff game that's on the Switch, that 20XX.
Oh yes. Yeah.
It's so funny because it's a great play on like when the Mega Man X games would start with like in the year 20XX.
Year 20XX. Like just say a number. What are you trying to hide?
It's fine. You know?
Like what are you trying to hide your complex timeline? Come on, man. You're not impressing anyone.
Didn't the first Blade Runner take place in the year 2020?
No, it was
21.
I don't remember.
It's pretty close, right?
It was before 2020 though. I want to say it was like 2018 or 2016 or something like that. That means I need to rewatch it.
Uh-oh.
You know, if they would have put the time, the year in the title, like the sequel, it would have been better.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Worst thing about that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know when this takes place.
I loved every part about it, but then when I didn't see a year, I just walked out.
I was like, how am I supposed to know when the heck this takes place?
Like, I was like, Ryan Gosling is fire. Like, this whole movie is fire. I like this whole movie. And then I saw, there's no date.
Well, the sequel was like 2049. I'm like, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for
that's right. It's in the title.
Yeah, it's in the freaking title, man. But the first one is like, I don't know when this takes place. It's very confusing.
So you're telling me that if I would have just looked at the title, I would have known?
Yeah, dude.
I was sitting there waiting for it to come up on screen.
You're like, when are they gonna like just tell me when this movie takes?
Like, come on!
You play too much Mega Man. You're waiting for those 20XXs. No, man, it's in the title, dude.
Jared the Joker Leto comes going on. I want more people to call him Jared Leto.
Leto. He gets a strange rap, that guy.
Yeah, he's like either great or horrible.
Yeah, it's like people either are like, wow, or people are either like, we hate your guts. It's like, dang.
It's like here's Jared Leto. Why am I saying
Jared Leto?
Jared Leto's performance gauge.
Can't we just let it go?
It's either trash or Oscar. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know which one it's gonna be this time, Johnny.
He's so method, though.
He's so method. God, more like meth.
Meth head. Because the Joker looks like.
I thought it was super tacky when was it at a 30 Seconds to Mars concert. It was like when he unveiled his like Joker voice, like his Joker laugh. I was like,
was it just like Like no one reacted to it.
Yeah, well, he did. He was like, I don't know if he like kind of like set the stage for it, and then he like was like, and like it was like everyone was like, cool.
Can you get back to the band, please?
Play the music though.
You don't understand.
Like I've always said, good jokers have to hate themselves in real life. Because he's too vain to be a good joker. Like he likes himself too much to be a good joker. You got to really do a bunch of drugs and hate yourself to be a good joker.
He probably thinks that this podcast is about him.
Yeah, he's like, you guys listen to this new fucking podcast? They barely even mention me, and then they talk shit about my band.
This should be like once, and then they talk shit about my band. Well,
it's like the first comment on this video is like Jay Leto. It's like, hey, the fuck, man.
Jay Leto? Is that what you call him?
Yeah, Jay Leto. J-Lo. Jello.
I'm like, first I thought you said Jay Leno. I'm like, Jay Leno? Hey guys, stop making fun of my buddy, okay?
He's going to be the next comment. It's just they're all going to be there. We got a star-studded comment cast coming at you guys.
Comment cast.
So, just to bring it back around here, John. Yeah, I don't know, man. Do you have any final what do you want to see? I'd
be happy with Zelda this year. I'd be happy with just that. I mean, honestly, I'm so strapped for money that I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy for the next foreseeable future.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care if something doesn't come out till November or December or whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, if it is Zelda or but okay, so let me kick you this though. What if it's just the Mario collection?
I won't be as excited.
Yeah. Well, yeah, same.
I'll be like,
of course I'll buy this because it's 3 Mario games, but 3 great Mario games. But like, do we even have to say that when you talk about a Zelda or Mario or like a Metroid, do you have to like
unless you put Mario Sunshine in there, the game's garbage.
So I love Mario Sunshine. So you're stupid. Sunshine.
I say I don't hate it. I just remember it's the one I played the least of. I remember playing on GameCube and just like being like, what the hell is this?
I played it so much because I loved the like mobility of the I loved that Mario had a jetpack and then like you could use it to like speed across the water and
the whole time I was playing it I was like, this needs a magic hat. I don't know, just the whole time I was playing it, I'm like, I wish I just had a hat.
Have you played Mario Odyssey?
What?
You got a hat in that game and it's magical.
I love hats.
I'll still say I'll till my dying breath, unless it gets overtaken. I think Mario Odyssey is the best Mario game. Sorry, full stop.
I can't. It's hard to disagree. It's the best 3D Mario game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the only game that for me would even hold a candle would be Super Mario World. I'm more
of a Mario 3.
Mario 3, the lesser good game. Hey,
I'm Mario World. All my Marios look weird.
They look beautiful.
They look weird. Okay, your guys look weird.
Because he got a little chunky between 3 and Super. He ate a little porridge. Okay,
a little too much linguine.
Yeah.
See, I like my Marios to be a little toner.
Just super stereotypical Italian.
It reminds me of home. Okay. Reminds me of the motherland.
Reminds me of Italia.
Italia, but not South Italia. We don't.
Yeah, I know. I know you guys got beef down there in Meatball.
I don't know, that's Sicilians.
I don't want to bring up old. I don't want to bring up old shit. All right, I want
coastal Italians. Sorry, coastal Italians. You don't understand the inner Italian racism runs deep.
Just like every fucking race,
we're all racist.
The
Whatever.
Irish are constantly hating each other.
But they're like blowing each other up and stuff. We just like throw meatballs.
You just make snide comments like,
yeah.
Look at that guy's gold chain is totally not even real.
Wow, look at that guy's tan. He must be Sicilian. Like stuff like that. Like, that's pretty much it. He must live by the. He must live by the coast, like
Yeah,
that.
must look
And
like
they'd be like, he must drink a lot of beer, and we're like stupid wine heads.
stupid ocean turkey. Is that an insult?
It's an insult to someone. I'll let you know.
I like ocean turkey. That's a good one. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that if we're not gonna get like Breath of the Wild 2 or something, that's the only reason I could possibly think in my brain hole that they would be acting so strangely about their directs and the games and everything. And like I said, I get COVID-19, but I don't think
they've been acting.
Way.
I don't think they've been acting weird about the directs. I think you take those directs just way too personally, man. Like
no, like they're not. They're just being so silent. It was almost like when
silent.
Sony,
They don't have anything to show, or
Sony was so silent about the PS5 for so long, right? Remember when everyone was like, "Are we going to hear about this?" And then they finally revealed it, and it was really awesome. So I'm hoping not that they're revealing a new console. Maybe they are, because there's those rumors also that there's the Switch Pro Ultra. Maybe March of next year. Later on, maybe it's even. I don't think it's gonna be like March. I doubt it. But
yeah,
and then also
they'll put out a Switch Pro or something.
There's the rumors that if they are gonna do a new console, are they saving games to launch with that console? But at the same time, it's Nintendo. They don't do heavy iterations, generally speaking, where like they completely omit a certain game. Like this only can be played on the whatever.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good with like we'll have it here and for the new one, and they usually do that stuff.
The only thing I can think of is the new 3DS XL. Where
oh yeah, that was just because like apparently you couldn't play it like 2 games.
It was Minecraft and Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah.
Which are pretty big. I mean, that's a pretty big. I mean, Minecraft alone is like enough for a parent to be like, I guess I gotta buy it a new one. But I don't know. We'll definitely see. I'm holding out hope, and I'm probably wrong, and I don't care. I'm gonna die with the ship. I'm going down with it. And
me and Nintendo, we have I have a relationship with Nintendo. I know them personally, and I'm just saying, just don't get your hopes up, because you'll get your heart up. Don't get your heart up.
Don't get your hearts up. Don't get a bunch of hearts up. don't fill your hearts and shoot lasers.
Unless they're heart containers.
Yeah.
Unless it's Twilight Princess that had like 5. They were split into 5 for some reason. What the heck, Nintendo? Explain that. Explain that to me.
Yeah. If we're not getting a new Zelda, let us know why.
At me, Nintendo.
Let us know why a heart all of a sudden costs one more extra heart piece to fill up.
What the heck?
What the heck was that about, Nintendo?
That's all I got.
Well, I mean, yeah. If you don't have anything else to add, I mean, this was just a Nintendo ramble. This was our what the heck is going on in Nintendo? Headline.
At least I agree that like if COVID is affecting them as much as I theorize, another press release of like, hey, this is affecting us more than we thought, that'd be nice. But I don't feel like they've been like,
other than a disclaimer.
I don't feel like they've been withholding. I feel like they've just been classic Nintendo, just obtuse and just kind of like, we're old school. We don't have to have a open dialogue with our fan base. You know what I mean?
I would have thought that before the second half of like August. But now that we're like straight up in September already, now I'm really starting to wonder what's happening, because I'm like, are we gonna get something? Because if I'm not wrong, the 13th of September is Mario's 35th anniversary, and if that's the case, then that's a Sunday, so they wouldn't release a video game then. So the thing I would think would be they would release on the 11th.
Yeah.
That Friday they would release the collection. That's in like a week.
Week and a half, yeah.
And I would be totally happy because I'm already getting the feeling that this Mario collection is not going to have a physical release at first.
Probably
maybe
not.
later down the line. But I think it's going to be a digital drop, and it could. And there was like I said, there was a bunch of rumors that it was happening this week. Of course, every week there's a fucking rumor about that now. No, it's happening this week. And then I watched a rumor video yesterday, or like a couple of hours ago, saying that the whole collection was actually delayed till the holidays. And if that's the case, and if all we're getting is this Mario collection, and that's our Christmas present from Nintendo, and these other companies are like releasing new consoles and games. I mean, I think Nintendo, they're not even having to do a new console. Like, that's my thing. Like, COVID, I understand it affected Nintendo a little bit more, but like, they're not even releasing new hardware. All they had to do was release like a couple of games, and they're Nintendo, so they know all they have to do is throw out a Mario and a Zelda, and they fucking win the game. And like,
yeah, but Nintendo doesn't really play by anyone's rules.
Exactly, and that's why
like the core of Nintendo has always been like, I mean, they've been around so freaking long. Like, Nintendo's been around since like 1891 or something absurd. Like, this is an old company with probably really, really old infrastructure. And I'm sure COVID hit them. So they were not ready for, hey, everyone work from home, compared to like you said with the Mortal Coil. Of course they pumped that out. It was younger kids. They know they can do this remotely. You know what I mean? But I know Nintendo, and I feel like they took this real hard, and they need to either do something really great at the end of this year, or it won't matter because people will still be Nintendo fanboys. So
I mean, the only thing,
they're not going to lose fans. You know what I mean?
Even if they release nothing, and they say Pikmin 3 is actually canceled too, everyone's still. I mean, we're still going to be.
They'll
fine.
Be angry, but like after a couple months, they'll just forget about it.
Whatever, man. As long as give me Breath of the Wild in the next 3 months, and I'll live my life. Or the next 5 months, or the next 2 years, whatever.
If not, we're coming for you, Nintendo.
Yeah, we're coming, and we're gonna say, you better give me.
Yeah, we're gonna go to your board of directors. And we're gonna pants them. Why is it called pantsing when you take someone's pants down? Shouldn't it be de-pantsing? What's that about?
It should be de-pantsing.
That's dumb. Explain that, Nintendo. Explain that. Yeah, why is it called pantsing? I want to go around and actually pants people, like go around and put pants on people.
more pants. You got more pants.
Just get really large pants and just idiot. Be like, you got pants, you idiot.
Look how many pants this idiot's got on right now.
Look, he's got 2 pants on. That's more pants than you need.
2 pants. Dude, 2 Pants would be such a sick rapper name. Do you have any idea?
It's 2 Pants.
He just strolls around with 2 fucking pairs of pants on, and it's like very obvious.
That honestly sounds like a rapper from like 1996 or something. Like, you remember Crisscross? Remember?
Oh yeah.
They wore their pants backwards. Yeah. So I mean, so if it was a thing where rappers wore their pants backwards, 2 pairs of pants, that's totally reasonable.
2 pants. That's amazing. Do you want to start that, or should I?
2 pants.
Should we do it
2
together?
Pants? Yeah, man. I mean, it takes 2 pants.
And our first song would be covering "It Takes 2."
It takes, like, which one? Like, it takes 2 to make a thing all right.
It takes 2, baby.
How about a fusion?
Baby, or fucking me and you. Yeah, that one.
Okay. Now we can remix it.
Well, then there's the Will Smith one, right?
Who?
Will Smith.
Oh, the Fresh Prince. I'm sorry.
He's fresh and he's a prince, brother.
I don't know him by his. I know his nom de tour. Okay.
You don't know him by his
Yeah, his real. Yeah, I just know his. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's a friend of mine. I'll give him a call.
William. Hey, Will.
Is this William Prince?
Hey, Bill. Dude, I wonder if any of his friends or anyone call him Bill. That's weird to think about, right?
Bill Smith.
Like a bizarro. Woo! Ha
What's up, Bill Smith?
ha! Woo!
Woo!
Yo, I'm Bill Smith.
Oh, go Bill Smith. You get it, bud. I want to I want a Fresh Prince reboot movie.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Well, we're doing all the reboots with the Ted and the Bill. You know, let's keep going.
It's not a reboot. It's a sequel.
It's a sweet sequel.
No, it's literally a continuation of the story.
It's a requel.
No, it's not.
It's a
No,
boot.
no, it's a continuation. I will fight you for this.
Sequence.
All right? I will die on the Bill and Ted Hill. Okay, there's not a lot of hills. All right, so let's just be excellent to each other. Just go our separate ways.
You heard it here first. Be excellent to each other, and thank you for watching this episode of the Critical Beard Podcast. We're going to shut this nonsense down before it gets so crazy it catches on fire and turns into a turtle. I have been one of your hosts, the Cardinal. This is your other host, the Meatball, Bill and Ted, and Somo.
Bill. Bill and Ted.
He's dying on all the hills.
Dude, yeah.
Would you call that hill that you're dying on? Would you call it Hill Smith?